Hello, and welcome to a first look at It's Dark Inside, a gritty, story-rich, turn-based adventure developed by Pixadome in collaboration with Sweden-based games collective AurroraPunks, and from the mind of creative producer Emil Dahlberg. In the game, your child is sacrificed to an abhorrent god that demands, well, sacrifices. In an attempt to save your child, you journey into the maw of the god itself and embark upon a story that takes place in its body. You'll make your way through various body parts of the god, through its brain, through its lungs, through its heart, and so on. As you progress, you'll be killing off each body part, essentially conquering the god from the inside. Throughout the game, you'll encounter many different people and cultures who have been sacrificed themselves over centuries past. Some of these people will have even grown and raised their children within the god, creating families, communities, and even cities within it. Some of these residents have never met anyone from the outside, let alone ventured there themselves. To some of them, your objective of killing the god that provides the only home they've ever known constitutes an attack on them as well, and you'll have to navigate these morally gray areas during your playthrough. It's Dark Inside can be described as a tactical horror game. Every action within its turn-based combat requires forethought and awareness. Through your battles, you'll encounter Godspawn. Godspawn are defenders of the god, created in its own image. Their sole purpose is to repel anyone or anything who might harm the god from the inside, yourself included. The player will encounter different weapons to employ in combat. In this example, the player has equipped a sword and a bow, each with their own unique uses. The bow can affect enemies in a narrow, long line, while the sword has a much wider arc of effect, but it's also much shorter range. During combat, the player will trade turns with the Godspawn, with each deciding to either move or attack, and their opponent then making their own choice. Weapon positioning is a tactical decision in It's Dark Inside, and you can rotate your weapons around your character so that they're facing and can therefore affect the desired tiles and enemies. Different Godspawn will exhibit different behaviors and tactics in combat. Depending on their orientation with regards to each other, Godspawn can also affect one another with their attacks. You do well to keep this in mind, as one Godspawn accidentally killing off another means one less enemy you'll have to work against. The game itself aims to feel spooky and eerie, and is greatly inspired by body horror. Because this exact world really hasn't been done before, careful thought was given to each element of the environment, and how the organ or the part of the Godspawn it exists in might influence the materials it's made out of. For example, even a piece of furniture within a certain community within the god is made up of the bodily materials found there. So while bricks and stone and wood might not make up a home, bone, muscle, and other flesh just might. Throughout the story, the creative producer of It's Dark Inside also invites players to self-reflect. Heavily inspired by being locked down inside during the corona pandemic, It's Dark Inside explores the concepts of feeling trapped, isolated, and amongst unfamiliar, uncharted territory. The target audience for It's Dark Inside are RPG players that enjoy digging into a rich, meaty story, but are also alright with that story being delivered at a more methodical pace, and where tactical decisions force you to slow down, observe your surroundings, and make careful choices. It's Dark Inside is a unique, deep game experience, and one we can't wait to share with players. Thanks for watching.